So this is our entrance of our space. We are located on the 3rd floor, and surprisingly, we get a lot of walk-ins coming in and a lot of word of mouth. We actually have our Facebook up, but the mall is increasing our presence in terms of notifying everyone in the community. And a lot of people are taking the trouble to come up to see the whole location. So this area, this space, we have 6,600 square feet, and the collaboration with the Damen Mall, which is actually owned by the KL Pavilion Group. They came to us because they needed to increase the footfall in the mall. So what better way than to have a community program, and this is exactly what it is. We actually help them to increase the number of families that come into this area, because there's a lot of children and parents that come into malls, but they don't really have anything to do apart from shopping or F&B. So this is actually filling the what do you call it, the need for kids to have some a location which they can play and learn at the same time. Okay, this is a 3D printer that we actually use for educational purposes. A lot of kids, especially, they don't have the access to 3D printer or knowing what a 3D printer is. So what you see here is a 3D printer just doing a 3D design actually on this one, the 3D STEM4ALL logo. And this is part of the design and build for kids who actually can do it for maybe a 3-hour or 4-hour workshop. And what they do is they will learn either through Blender or Fusion 360, where they can actually design and build 3D modeling. From there, from their own creation, then they convert it into something physical. Alright? And of course, you can convert the 3D printing builds into an IoT program, where you actually can have what we call this the octopus. It actually moves around. You need the radio control for that. And of course, we have drones, and this is very interesting. This is the engineering part of it. Because STEM, the engineering element is very important. So we actually have a program here to actually show kids. This is something like Lego, but Lego is all about play. Let's play. This is let's play and learn on the engineering basis. So this is a marble run. It shows you how you can actually build something and teach kids how to build a gear. What is a gear about? This is a planetary gear. It shows you like a differential on how you can actually work gears and pneumatics if you have. So this is a German program that we have a master trainer actually teaching kids how to actually build and understand the fundamentals of engineering. I think this is these are all DIY drones built out of the components that we have. And I like to bring attention to this. This is the ice cream stick drone. Now, why are we building a drone made out of ice cream sticks? It's because kids at the age of 7-8 years old, when they look at all those drones, they get very afraid. So these are the drones that they can actually relate to because it's built from ice cream sticks. So we basically teach them 2 to 3 hour class and build drones from here.
Who can provide those inputs, the technical? You produce the language. That's your expertise. Does that sound logical to you? As universities,
This is our Play-Doh section or polymer clay section. We have a lot of kids, because this is a mall, we have a lot of children walking in as age 2 years, 3 years old. So they can't take on those other programs. We start early adoption programs like this, for instance. This is polymer clay. What the kids do, they can actually design anything that they like. And after that, it is baked in the oven, and within 20 minutes, this is an eraser. So this has an application to it as well. Of course, you can actually build very interesting designs like this. To be very creative, and this was actually done by a 12-year-old actually. Alright, so this helps them to touch and feel and play with things. This is also a very interesting material. This is what we call molecules, and these are beaded Play-Doh. So this is one of the winning entries that we had during the last Independence Day celebration. This is something very, very interesting in the sense that this is not factory made. This is all made from repurposed, recycled materials by one of our partners who included and animated it with electronics, as you can see here. So what we have here are sceneries. We call it a diorama, and it's based on 1/87 scale. So this is like the HO scale, the train scale that they run on. So you can see the projects are here, and for the kids, they can be as young as maybe 7 years old and buy a kit and immediately sit down here for a workshop which they can actually build on. This project here was done by a brother-sister team. They actually combined 6 sets and they themed it as the Garden of Eden, having all the animals there. Very, very, very exciting. Aerospace, tutorials here, like teaching the principles of flight using the Bernoulli theory, and we come up with simple workshops for kids to work on with just on straw and paper, and then they will build it, and then they will actually throw this around. So this teaches them fundamentals of principles of flight. We always do a lot of thematic projects as well. So in this area here, we have a tree. This tree is actually made of paper mache. And what we did was we collaborated with the mall because we just finished the Mid-Autumn Festival, the Lantern Festival, and we came up with ideas to actually do lanterns. These are all DIY lanterns, and more interestingly, these lanterns are made out of straws. So we call them the geometric lanterns because, as you can see here, the frame is all made out of straws without the use of glue or gum, and no sticky tape at all. So what we did was we did for about 150 people, although about 300 people came, so it was oversubscribed. So it was very Interspace section. This is where everyone can get their hands touching tools. We have a lot of miniature tools here. We have drills and cutters and a lathe machine, very small miniature lathe machine as well. But this area gives the possibility of people coming in with their own projects. They can make anything. From you can see this is a tree. It's made out of wire and paper mache, and we have other projects. We have the carpentry projects in this section as well. We also have a lot of old stuff which we show to people, and we just take you to this section here where we use DIY material to actually show kids how electromagnet works, and you get lights come out from it. So these are the things that are very interesting for kids to be able to touch and feel. Also, the power of magnets for perpetual motion. These are things that the children normally see in a textbook but are unable to touch and feel. So we give them the option of doing this. This is actually a very big generator. So this is the things that they like, and they actually absorb better. House veterans on board. We have Encik Rahim here. He does a lot of bamboo works. You can actually do the bamboo works using art, which is very popular. Alright, and you can use it for purposeful items, like you can convert this into a lamp. Okay, and we do special workshops. For instance, how to make a table. This is a chair and a table as well. And you can see in this section here, also cross over to the horticulture part here, on how we can actually grow stuff using reusable, recycled material. Everything is an experiment here, and we're trying to see how we can develop it to actually grow. Now we don't have sunlight, but these are all growing. This is our grapes. Now, what you see here, this space here is 6,600 square feet here, and our collaboration with the mall, which is Damen Mall, it is actually owned by KL Pavilion Group, and they are actually supporting us in collaborating in this space by bringing in a lot of orphans, a lot of old folks, and they pay for the programs that we teach the orphans and the old folks. When, for instance, the kids, we teach them IoT classes or educational programs. For the old folks, we go into the maker part so they can build stuff. And like say, for it could be building anything. For instance, it could be just a simple project where it depends on them. We can customize it to make it easier because we're dealing with old folks in this case, so we make it as simple as can be. So you can see here we are not just inside the lot, but we also are at the foyer area. We're able to put our drone cage, which is a 5 meter by 5 meter size drone cage, where once you build the drones, you can actually fly the drones and fun fly in this area. So this is our entrance of our space. We are located on the 3rd floor, and surprisingly, we get a lot of walk-ins coming in and a lot of word of mouth. We actually have our Facebook up, but the mall is increasing our presence in terms of notifying everyone in the community. And a lot of people are taking the trouble to come up to see the whole location. Where it all started from. You know, we're showing all models, and this is very, what do you call it, interesting to them to learn. And like, we have an old record player, they don't even know what a record player is. You know? This is a polyhedron shape. You get a lot of this in the mathematics field, where you actually, this helps the kids to learn what you call it, spatial learning. So they learn shapes like triangles, squares and all. This gives them the idea of dimensional learning. Simple things that actually teachers can take on, and it doesn't cost a cent, it's just the straws.